Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin Cowan and welcome to Cowan Productions. I realized I've never done that on this channel. Today I am introducing you guys to a brand new series, I guess you could call it. This series is going to be called Cowan Critiques, where I'm going to be critiquing various different movies and series. And for our very first episode, we are starting with the movie Teen Beach Movie. Why Teen Beach Movie? Because as someone who lives in Indiana and still hates the beach, I rather imagine myself on a beach rather than surrounded by snow. Can I just say that I used to watch this movie right when it came out in 2013 and I was 7. However, watching this movie now as a 19-year-old, I can say that I see this movie so differently. So let's get into it. Disney Channel's movie Teen Beach Movie was made in 2013, directed by Jeffrey Hornaday and written by Vince Marcello, Mark Landry? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm saying that name incorrectly. And Robert Horn. And fun fact, it was actually filmed in Puerto Rico, so that explains why the beach looks so nice, because it's not here in America. The movie stars Ross Lynch as Brady and Maya Michelle as Mac, aka our main characters. So the story starts off immediately with a montage of Mac and Brady, or their stunt doubles, surfing and having fun on the beach, insinuating that they just had the best summer of their lives, even though it was filmed all in one day. Gotta love montages, right? Then we're introduced to Brady's favorite movie of all time, West Side Story. I didn't know this as a kid, but that was clearly inspired by West Side Story, aka Romeo and Juliet. And we're introduced to this movie because it plays a big part in our story later. In the meantime, Mac clearly has something to tell Brady, but he keeps kind of being the airhead that he is. That's not really helping. So Mac's aunt shows up and decides to just tell him for her. Wow, so nice. So Mac is attending a preparatory academy and won't be staying with Brady at the high school that they're currently at. So, being the 16-year-old child that he is, Brady immediately blames Mac for working hard and getting into a really difficult school. Already off to a great start with this movie. It perfectly explains relationships of today, especially with 16-year-olds. Anyways, Mac tells Brady about this deal she made with her aunt or whatever, that when her mother passed away, Mac stayed for the first few years of high school here with her grandpa and would finish the rest of high school at this academy while living with her aunt. Because where you go to high school just matters so much. So Mac tells us about her mom writing in this journal and talks about wanting Mac
to go through life like a star and work hard for your dreams or her dreams.
And let me just tell you, you can still follow your dreams in a normal high school. Life still matters once you're in high school, but it doesn't really start, I guess, until you get out of high school. I'm just saying, high school really doesn't that matter as much as kids, and especially Disney Channel makes it seem to be. Oh my gosh. There's a reason why a lot of people thought High School Musical was realistic, and it's not. It kind of just angers me how they make this preparatory academy sound like college, making sure that it matters so much more than college, actually. That's not good. Trust me, if I was there to tell Mac this movie would be done in 5 minutes. But anyways, Mac and Brady basically break up because long distance is too hard. Now, granted, they didn't say where this preparatory high school is, but it's just really? You're just gonna break up on the spot? Because she keeps saying over and over,
do I have a choice? I don't have a choice.
Alright. And the next day, Mac decides to be rebellious one last time and surf during a storm that could literally drown her. Lovely. So as things are about to look really bad, instead of a literal lifeguard saving her, Brady just gets on a water ski thing, I don't know what they're called, and just jumps in with her. And when they come out of the water, they notice that the storm is gone, and while Mac is yelling at Brady that she didn't need saving, quote unquote, they realize that they're not at the same beach anymore because storms just change your environment so much. They kind of do, honestly. So it turns out Mac and Brady are in the world of West Side Story, the movie we talked about earlier. By the way, Mac says the funniest line I have ever heard. She says,
maybe we're dead. Maybe we died and ended up in a musical.
That's just so funny to me. As someone who is a theater kid, obviously, this would be a dream come true, but I can see how it wouldn't be for every single non-theater kid. It kind of makes sense on why she thinks this is hell. So after our first song, which by the way, Bikini Wonderland sounds extremely inappropriate, just saying, we and Mac and Brady meet the Surfers, who have the worst names I have ever heard. I mean, Giggles and Rascal? Really? Okay. But it's fine because Jordan Fisher is in this movie, so I just got to look at him the entire time. We also get to meet the bikers, who, yes, are cooler because they wear black. I said it. By the way, Cruisin' for a Bruisin' is the best song out of this whole movie. If anyone wants to fight me on that, let's go, bro. Also, Layla is literally me if I was single, wearing all pink and saying things like,
Hanging with my brother because his friends are so hot.
like, that is literally me. Not to mention, yes, I was counting. We get our third red flag from Brady when he lets a random girl kiss him on the cheek in front of Mac. But that's fine because it's not considered cheating yet because we're in 2013. Sorry, technically 1962, whatever. So Mac and Brady try to figure out how to get out of the movie and realize that since the storm brought them there in the first place, maybe they just need another storm to get out. So in the meantime, thanks to movie magic, they go to a party. At this party, Layla sings the most iconic Bachelorette song ever, Fallen For Ya. The amount of freaking TikToks I have seen with this song, and it's literally just the bridesmaids and the bride. I've actually witnessed it in real life too. This is happening while Mac keeps telling Brady that she doesn't want to dance because guess what? She's boring. And Brady is loving the fact that he is dancing with another girl like way too much, honestly. Like he's getting way into it. So because of this, Brady actually ends up catching Layla instead of Tanner, who was supposed to catch her, because that's how the movie was supposed to play out. And Tanner ends up catching, even though she didn't trip over anything, he ends up catching Mac. Also, when Brady catches Layla, he says,
"I'm your knight in shining boy shorts."
Not only is that line cringy, but again, he is loving all these other girls like way too much. But I guess Mac and Brady are broken up, so it doesn't really matter. So because Mac and Brady were in their wrong places during this song, aka standing out from the ensemble, if you know what I'm saying, the theater kid joke, Layla is in love with Brady and Tanner is in love with Mac instead of the other way around. So everyone in the movie doesn't know what to do, and basically Mac and Brady messed up the movie. Whoops. So to make sure that they didn't mess anything else up, they check on the villains of the movie, because there somehow needs to be one, I don't know, to see if they're still working on getting rid of the bikers and surfers with their weather machine, which I don't remember from West Side Story, but I digress. By the way, Kevin Chamberlain is also in this movie, and he is the best actor in this movie, along with Jordan Fisher. Also, his character looks just like the evil doctor from My Hero Academia. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not, okay? But since Tanner and Layla aren't together, there isn't really much of a reason for them to get rid of the bikers and surfers. I think that's what they're insinuating here. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention that much. By the way, when Mac and Brady get back to the party, Layla says another very funny line. She says,
I would never take another girl's boy. I mean, that would be stealing, and well, probably very hard to return.
Layla, you have no idea. Oh man, she is so me. Like I said, rewatching this movie as an adult is so different and just a tad bit more funnier in a drastically different way. I'm sorry, but after Layla says this, Mac tells her that her and Brady are not together, and Brady is just upset about this when he was literally flirting with every other girl in front of Mac. Whatever. Mac and Brady try to convince Tanner and Layla not to be in love with them by singing a song with too much auto-tune, in my opinion. Then they get themselves invited to their individual parties, but we see Mac's shirt disappear. Ha ha ha. The plot thickens, which leads us to believe that Mac and Brady will soon disappear because they don't belong in the movie. But who cares when we have a slumber party to get to? Like, literally, they just move on about this fact so quickly. Anyway, so Mac goes to the slumber party with Layla, and Brady hangs out with Tanner that night. At the slumber party, we get a stereotypical girl moment where Layla is just like,
Since I'm wearing a blue dress and the ocean is blue, Brady will think of me whenever he looks at the ocean.
Also, by the way, she never wears that dress. At these parties, we get the second best song, Like Me. Also, the line, I know what girls like if you know what I mean, while Ross Lynch is stroking his abs all the way down to his thighs. I mean, some girls like that, Ross. Mac tries to convince Layla that it's normal for girls to ask guys out, while Brady tries to convince Tanner to say his feelings. You know, don't be a regular old boy, be a man and tell your feelings. Which honestly, I don't disagree with. The next day, Tanner tells Mac that this turf war was literally a waste of time, and Layla tells Mac that night that she wants to surf but can't because it's a boy thing. Mac is just like,
Oh my gosh, Brady can teach you. Go meet him on the beach tomorrow and he'll teach you how to surf.
and Layla's like, okay. But instead of Brady being there, it's actually Tanner. So this is when Mac and Brady realize that they're morphing into the musical and evidently get kidnapped. For some reason. They never really explained why they get kidnapped, I don't think so. Meanwhile, Layla and Tanner finally fall in love with each other. Also, I love how purposefully bad the acting is in this movie, especially from like the bikers and surfers. When I was a kid, I actually thought that acting was so good and so believable. I was 7, okay? I was 7. So somehow, I really don't know how, Tanner and Layla figure out that Mac and Brady were kidnapped. Again, I don't know how. And they end the war between the bikers and the surfers, and they set out to go save their new friends. At the villain's lair, Mac realizes that she doesn't want to go to this boring academy, and she decides to do whatever she wants. Yeah! Independent woman right here. Oh, also she mentioned that it's better to be stuck in 1962 with Brady. They fall in love, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? They get back together and they tell the doctor he shouldn't work for the main villain guy, but he does it anyways. Like, I have no idea why they put that dialogue in, because it literally does not matter. The surfers and the bikers come in to save Mac and Brady and destroy the machine with a bobby pin, of all things, and the power of friendship, because of course it is. So after saying goodbye to Mac and Brady and repeating the same line
Girls can do anything boys can do
over and over, Mac and Brady go back into the storm and arrive back home without drowning, you know, while sharing one singular surfboard and having Brady's face in Mac's butt. Back at home, Mac's stunt double still rides the wave successfully, surprise, surprise, with everyone so impressed with her. She also confronts her aunt that she's gonna do whatever she wants to do and stay at the current high school that she's at right now. And that's how the movie ends, with a final song saying,
Ready, Freddy?
because guess what? They're back in 2013. And even though they're not in a musical anymore, they still break into song because that's legal now, apparently. Also, I just love the ending credits scene where the bikers and the surfers are just appalled by Justin Bieber. It's literally like the funniest scene out of the entire movie, and it's at the end. So now I will be giving my overall thoughts on this movie, as well as giving it a rating out of 5 stars. So I've said it multiple times, but this movie really feels different as an adult, especially because this was filmed during a different time. The message that this movie gives off about relationships is wildly and morally wrong. As someone who's been in a relationship for over 2 years now with the same person, saying that it's okay if another girl flirts and has a crush on you because she's supposed to be in love with someone else, not only does that not make sense, but that is also just so wrong. Max should have been getting angry at the fact that Brady is loving all the attention he's getting from these different girls, which is more attention than Mac ever gave him, but she just doesn't get angry. She just brushes it off. No! If that was Sam, number 1, he wouldn't be near all of those girls because that's not who he is. Number 2, this movie would have turned into a horror movie. Just saying. Other than that, all I have to say is that it's a Disney movie. It's going to be cringy, and it definitely was. I will say that this movie definitely made its mark. It was so popular back in the day. I watched it like every single day because it was a romance. It had Ross Lynch, other famous people. It was a musical, if anything. And honestly, the songs carried the movie. I will say that it was a great idea to be stuck in a movie. Like, I actually really liked that plot line. As a kid, I used to think about what I would do if I was trapped in a movie or a musical, which the only musicals I knew at the time were either Shrek or Phantom of the Opera. Not bad choices, honestly. I would be doing exactly what Brady was doing and just enjoy the moment. These songs are still loved dearly to this day, and I also like them a lot. Really only 2 though. I mean, the rest are okay. okay? Again, Disney Channel movies are most popular for its songs, and if we didn't have them, kids would not like them as much. That's why some Disney Channel movies like Invisible Girl, or there was one called Swapped or something like that, those weren't as popular as the musical movies because they didn't have songs. This is also why musicals are sometimes just more popular than regular movies, because everyone loves music. The dialogue was kind of insane. Surprisingly funny, but in an adult and stupid way. Of course, the dialogue was dumbed down so much because it's a kids movie, which is fine. I'm not saying that I just like this movie now as an adult. I still like 2 of the songs and the plot line, but I definitely don't love it as much as I used to, simply because it's cringy. My overall rating is 2.5 stars. I'll give 2 stars for the songs and for the plot idea. The 0.5 is for the funny lines. Again, repeating the same lines over and over are what started to lose my interest. And of course, the cringe. That's why I didn't give it like a higher rating. Also, if Disney wanted to normalize girls being able to surf, aka a boys sport, not addressing that fact would have been so much better. I hope you all enjoyed my first critique. If you want me to do more, which doesn't matter because I will still do it no matter what you say, feel free to leave me some recommendations on other ones we can do. Maybe in the next one we'll do Teen Beach Movie 2, which is worse than the first one, but that's for another day, okay? I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in our next film or Cowan critique. Bye!